Okay, yeah.
Good morning, SS1 students. We are now in the revision period, and the first topic we want to revise is our topic on week 5. And don't forget that we have dwelled much extensively on that week 5 topic, and it says periodic table. Now, to start with, without wasting too much of your time, periodic table is the orderly arrangement of elements in groups. And don't forget that in groups, the vertical columns and the periods, horizontal rows, based on the order of increasing relative atomic number. I remember when I was in secondary school, my teacher used to tell me, how can you differentiate between horizontal and vertical? My teacher would say, vertical is like this, horizontal is like this, vertical like this, horizontal like this. And when we are talking about, periodic table, the guy that constructed the periodic table is known as Dmitry Mendeleev. He's a Russian chemist, and he constructed the periodic table based on increasing relative atomic mass. And don't forget, relative atomic mass is approximately or twice the relative atomic number. Now, let's go to the law, because when we are talking about Mendeleev, there is a law which he proposed, and the law is Mendeleev periodic law, and the law states that the properties of the elements are a periodic function, of their relative atomic mass. That is the Mendeleev law. But we can also law, which is also similar to Mendeleev, that is, we normally call it the modern periodic law. The modern periodic law. The modern periodic law. And the law states that the properties of the elements are a periodic function of their relative atomic number. Don't forget Mendeleev law and the modern periodic law. Now, let's go to the summary of the first 20 elements in the periodic table. According to your level, let's stop at 20 elements for now. We don't want to go beyond 20 elements. But if you look at this table properly, I will be snapping about it. I will not take too much of time. I will just summarize it. You will see that we have period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. That means in a periodic table, we have 4 periods. And if you look at the groups here, in a periodic table, we have 8 groups in the periodic table. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, group 8. That means, according to our definition, period is horizontal. Groups is vertical. If you look at the group, for example, hydrogen can be found in group 1, lithium can be found in group 1, sodium can be found in group 1, potassium can be found in group 1. They are hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and helium, I think they can be found, they are in the same period. Hydrogen and helium, they are in the same periods, if you look at it now. So, this period 2, we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorinium. They are in period 2. In period 3, we have sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. Then in period 4, we have only 2 elements, potassium and calcium. Take note, in periods, we have 4 periods in the periodic table, and we have 8 groups in the periodic table. Because of our time, by the time when we resume, I shall give you the formula on how to know each element in a group without wasting too much time. Now, let's go to the families of elements. In these families of elements, in fact, we have grouped them. We have group 1 and we have the name. In group 1, it is called alkali metal. Group 2, alkali earth metal. Group 3, boron family. Group 4, carbon family. Group 5, nitrogen family. Group 6, oxygen family. Group 7, halogens. Group 8, noble gases or inert gases. Like I told you, the families of elements. Group 1, it has a name. Group 2, it has a name. Please, my dear students, as we are, moving forward, please, I want you to move forward with me. These are under families of elements. Now, in summary of what we have discussed about, we now want to talk about the periodicity of elements. When we are talking about periodicity, it is the reoccurrence of similar properties at regular intervals in the periodic table. The first property that we have in the periodic table is atomic radius. That is the distance between the nuclei of two identical atoms. Half the distance between the nuclei of two identical atoms. We have the ionic radius. That is the measure of the size of an ion. We have the ionization energy, and that is the energy required to remove a valence electron from a gaseous neutral atom. We have the electron affinity, which is the energy released when an electron is added to a neutral atom, and we have the electronegativity. It is a measure of the ability of an atom to attract electron to itself. So in summary of what we have discussed about the guy that proposed the periodic table, Dmitry Mendeleev. We have discussed about the law, the Mendeleev law, the modern periodic law. We have talked about the periodic tables of the first two elements. We categorize it into periods and in groups. Periods is horizontal, groups are vertical. Then we talk about the families of elements, which has to do with different names. Give it to them: alkali metals, boron family, carbon family, nitrogen family, and the likes. So, my dear students, this is where I'm going to draw the contents on today's class. So, if you have any question or anything bothering your mind, you can private chat me through my WhatsApp number. I hope you comply with all the rules and regulations of this pandemic period. God will help you in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you.